can go and get some rest. Okay, how have you been? What's going on with you? How have you been managing yourself, you know, with everything that's going on? I hope that you are staying on top of your game. I hope that you have begun to make very productive use of your day this morning. Welcome to the program. My name is Mavis Atudume. This is High Voltage, all topical conversations, political, and of course, everything you need to know as a Nigerian to prepare you every day is what we do here. You can join us live on YouTube to have an interface with me this morning. It's High Voltage News. Like, subscribe, and share and be a part of what we are doing. Also, follow us on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. And of course, today I'm by myself, so the phone lines are officially open so that we can do the reviews of the headlines together, you and I. We're analyzing and, of course, continuing to catch up on updated stories from, yesterday, because as we in Nigeria, they are new every morning, the things that we have to deal with here. So you must understand that, of course, there are developing stories, and then, of course, there are hot breaking news, in the headlines this morning. So we're going to try to take them bit by bit, piece by piece. There are so many of them, and most times we get stuck on one. We're not able to touch all because it's so much going on. It's so much going on. Where will I start from? Do I tell you what happened yesterday, or do I tell you what happened this morning? These are the issues. And of course, we seem to have a prayer recipe for every condition that we have in Nigeria. We have become a recipe, a prayer recipe oriented country. It seems to be the answer to all of our prayers, especially at the wrong time. I will tell you all about these prayers. A lot of people are prescribing it, especially as it regards to the economic condition of the Nigerian people. It is the only time that these prayers are prescribed, whenever it is time to do for the Nigerian people, whenever it's time to tackle hunger and impoverishment and hardship and bad governance. That is the only time that the prayer recipe is whipped out. Nobody calls us for prayers before subsidies are removed. Or maybe if we prayed hard enough, God would have removed our subsidy. We didn't have to do it. All those trillions of naira wouldn't have been spent trying to cushion this effect. You would think that we would whip out prayers. We would whip out prayers when the president needed a new private jet. You would have thought that the religious sector in Nigeria would come together and pray down a private jet. You would have thought that they would have prayed down a yacht. You would have also expected that 21 billion naira renovation, if we had prayed hard enough to all the different gods that we worship in this country in our different ways. You would have thought that we would have been able to achieve some of these major milestones that this administration has achieved by praying. But it seems that now that Nigerians cannot feed themselves. We cannot send our children to school. We cannot afford Medicare, healthcare. We cannot afford cooking gas. Now that we can barely afford any sustenance as a people, the prayer recipe have once again been whipped out by this particular administration. This is too much prayer in such a short period of time. One wonders how much prayer still awaits us in the country. But don't take it from me, hear it yourself. Let's start with the Daily Post this morning. Mixed reactions trail Nigerian government release of End Bad Governance protesters. I'll take that again so that it makes sense to all of us. Mixed reactions trail Nigeria's government release of End Bad Governance protesters. I don't know if you saw the visuals of the young men that were released on Friday, a week today. You would realize that they were minors. We saw that they were young people. We saw that they were teenagers. We saw that these people, they had a look. But the people that were released the people that were released on Wednesday were not, if you really, really looked at the visuals that, the internet has afforded us, you would realize that the people who were churned out, who were given 100,000 naira each, and of course an ITEL A18S phones by the northern governor, I forget which one particularly right now, I would remember, you would realize that those brothers that were released back into the society on Wednesday were not, it seems to me, maybe I'm wrong, and of course I do wear glasses just so you, in case you do, I, yes, I struggle with my sight sometimes. So maybe there's a possibility that what I saw is not what it is, but it seemed to me that the young men that were released were not the minors that we saw a week ago on Friday at the High Court in Abuja. But then, that's just me, all right? You can share your views and thoughts with me this morning as we begin to look at these stories and try to consider them, each and every one of them. You can call 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347 to be a part of the program this morning. Remember to keep your comments simple, clean, and civil so that we don't break any rules, no regulations while we're trying to have a rather decent conversation. All right, police inspector killed two Chinese Nigerian. Okay, two Chinese and a Nigerian kidnapped in Cross River State. Okay, that's on the news this morning. Arrested civil servants to be arraigned in court for pension fraud, says Governor Alex Oti of Abia State. All right, Makinde, that is Sheyi Makinde, has been in the news trying to rally up the PDP and to get them to stand up. And of course, he was highly affected by the American election, and he's been making comparisons and trying to. There's a lot going on. And I have to tell you, the Trump conversation as regards to Nigeria is not ended, because as at yesterday, there's been a lot of developing stories concerning other parts of the world in regards to the victory of Donald Trump as America's president-elect. Okay, so these and more are up on the channel this morning. So keep up with us, and of course share your thoughts and views with us. Of course, I have a Trump Nigerian related question for my listeners this morning, and I'm sure that you guys can help me figure it out. Let's quickly see if we can grab other headlines before we go to the investigated stories, where that's where the real gist is. All right, serial grid collapse, federal government orders overhaul as TCN. Okay, someone's trying to reach me. As TCN fears more breakdowns. All right, did you know that the grid had another shaking yesterday? I'm sure that some people, especially in Enugu, electricity was restored last night in most places. But I can tell you that that particular uh, break in electricity transmission was the grid, as it was making its 11th fall in the past 1 year and 6 months. That will be the 11th time that it will fall. And then it turns out that the entire of Muhammadu Buhari's administration, it only fell 9 times. And in just 1 year and 6 months, we've had 11 collapses of this grid. And I can tell you, as at yesterday, a committee have been set up. A committee has been set up to investigate why this grid has fallen. We have an actual ministry that is in charge of these particular infrastructure, but it's been having these collapses for as long as I can remember it, and now we need to set up a committee to investigate what is wrong with it. Someone needs to investigate what is wrong with me. All right, moving on. Why my late husband's kinsman denied me property access, says widow. We have brought Mama Nuku here. She is an advocate for women, like the woman I just read to you right now. If you need information and help on how to face some of these issues, you might want to talk to some professionals who can help you. There are NGOs and there are agencies that are out to look out for women like this who might be persecuted because of loss of spouse. All right, let's move on from the Punch newspaper this morning. It doesn't seem like they have so much going on. Let's move over to the Vanguard News. Just give me a moment right there. Let me just quickly reel out the stories and I will get to you. Why the national grid collapsed again, says the TCN. Seriously? What do you want to tell us now? Was it like a different reason from the reason why it fell the last time, or the time before that one, or the time before that one? What? What exactly? And then we've had figures, millions and almost billions, running in billions now, has been channeled to this grid over years and years and years and years. So who knows? It could be another one of those mega offices, that every time you hear committees being set up in this country, it's just like it's nobody's being serious right now, because if someone wanted to be serious, we would have seen some sanctions, we would have seen some accountability, some questioning. Someone has to be responsible. This is not how it is done. There are hierarchies. These are offices. So who's in charge? Why is your office not running? What's going on with your infrastructure? What's going on? Who is it? Who's doing this thing? Who is running this thing? Who is in charge of this thing? What's going on? If we've put money into it before, why is it not working? What's happening? Who is in charge? Is someone actually running this place, or are people in charge of this country, or it's just running on autopilot? I can't tell. But these are my observations. These are the things that I get to come here and tell you every day. You think I don't want to come here and tell you something good for once? I would really love, in the course of this job, to wake up and come here, sit here one day and share some really good news that can change my life and yours. One day, one of these days, I would really, really love that. But you see, this is what we're dealing with. Misappropriations, arrogance, complete complete insensitivity. Nobody is actually doing their jobs here. Everybody is just acting out. Someone says on Twitter that we are being ruled, or we're being governed by actors and actresses. And it was funny reading it. But if you thought about it for 2 minutes, you would really realize that we might just have a bunch of actors running around, occupying offices, and running away with our funds and doing what they please with them, and not actually doing the job that we have, either by hook or by crook, elected them to do. That's quite unfortunate. Let's take a few more stories, and then I'll open up the phone lines. Media owners, editors, and other stakeholders urge President Tinubu to save the media industry. That includes me. We would need some looking into as well. Thank you very much. All right, moving on. Scandal. Equatorial Guinea and its government has sacked Baltazar Egonga as ANIF boss, says the First Lady has also reacted to this. Well, it's caused quite some ruckus, that is Mr. Baltazar and his affairs. Political and otherwise bedroom affairs has caused some shaking all over the world. People are quite amazed, considering that the numbers that he is dealing with are quite, they're not numbers that you hear every day. So 400 is enough to have us worried. All right, let's see if there is more that we can grab here. I'm not afraid of EFCC. I will hand over myself if they call me. This is coming from ex-governor Obaseke. All right, that's as much as we can take from the daily headlines this morning. And every other thing I'm going to tell you will come from the investigated stories. Federal government unveils $56 million technology to monitor national grid performance. What did I just tell you? This is coming from the cable news this morning. Federal government unveils $56 million in technology to monitor national grid performance. Just to monitor it. Yeah, this is just to, look it over. This is not the grid itself. It's not the maintenance. It's none of those. This is just for monitoring. All right, don't forget that. Just in, US President-elect Donald Trump accepts Russian President Putin's offer to call to discourse ending the war in Ukraine. I can tell you between yesterday and this morning, there has been all kinds of international turnaround. And of course, it sparks a question. Is Donald Trump going to affect the government in Nigeria positively or negatively? That is a conversation that I'm willing to have this morning. You can call me. I'm ready to talk to you now. 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347. Let's do this. Tell me what you think about all of this. What do you think about all of this? Are we doing okay? Are we doing okay? Is this the right way to go? How are we doing as a people? Good morning.
Hello, good morning, maybe.
My good man, how are you today?
I'm doing great, my dear.
You're welcome.
I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Fantastically, sir.
Okay. From your introduction, I hope you were saying something about national prayer.
Oh, I am coming. I am coming. Don't run away. Oh. Don't run away, sir. I have that headline sitting here waiting. The Pentecostal Association of Nigeria is calling for a 40-day fasting and prayer for the economic turnaround once again of the country.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I've gotten your point now. Yes. In my own speculation, the prayer is very good.
With fasting, it's the fasting and prayer 40 days.
Fasting, because if a Nigerian leaders can pray and repent from their evil ways, I must tell you that Nigeria will come better for good.
Do you think it's the Nigerian leaders praying? This is for the Nigerian people. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, led by its national president, Bishop Francis Wale Oke, has declared a 40-day period of prayer and fasting to address the hardship facing Nigerians.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that the prayer is very good.
Okay.
Because from all indications, God is angry with this country.
Why? Why would you say that? What did we do?
God is angry with this country, I must tell you.
Why? We were colonized. We've suffered. Why would God be punishing us? What did we do?
Because our leaders are not doing something that is favorable. And in fact, the way they manage the affairs of this country, the wrath of God is upon this land.
Why can't God channel his anger on the bad politicians? Why is he doing it to me? I'm hungry. I'm not doing anything.
God is a God of patience. Let me tell you.
So he would rather all of us, just suffer because he's mad at our leaders.
Just aside, I want to talk about the embassy protesters that were released.
Yes. Did you see the videos?
That is another way that yesterday about this issue. Because this have further exposed the weaknesses of our leaders. Because I don't see the reason why those minors should be tried, because there should be a juvenile court for them. And again, the government are afraid to do the needful. That's why they are afraid.
You forgot that there was an executive order from the president ordering the attorney general, ordering the attorney general of the federation to shut down that case. Which is also an indictment on our judiciary. What does that mean?
Maybe can you listen to me now?
I'm listening to you.
Now, you say that the northern leaders are now backlashing over this issue. Because it seems like this thing has become a northern issue, another problem. Because if you say that Southeast participated in that protest, let's assume that it was only the Southeast that participated in that protest. I must tell you that nothing would have been happening now concerning those arrested. But because of the governors of the northern states are now sitting against the issue.
Outside that, Nigerians raised a lot of alarm. Yes, Nigerians raised alarm.
In fact, that is the nepotism in the highest order, nepotism, and that is the bane of our democracy. Because we have other people that are languishing in the correction center. That even the high court in the land have even given order for their release. For instance, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. I think you recall that there was a time that the High Court ruled that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Up to now.
About twice.
Hello?
About twice, Amos. You asked me a question. I said about twice.
So now it just is applicable to the protesters, the so-called minors. Okay? Because I don't see the reason why government, our government has become, they are reactive instead of being proactive. Of course, if you want to address an issue, you're supposed to address it from the root cause of it. So all these things that are happening in Nigeria are just as a result of maladministration. You understand me? And because the right leaders have never ruled this country, those that are qualified to rule have never been given the opportunity to rule. Because in 2023, all of us, we saw what happened when everybody was clamoring for a change in Nigeria. At least we expected that Tito B should be the president as I'm talking to you now. But of course, you saw what happened. The ambition and wish of Nigeria were thwarted. Hello?
I am here with you, Amos.
This is a problem, and it's a high time that the leaders should address this issue. Otherwise, in fact, Nigeria is heading to doom. I must tell you, I'm saying this with every fact. The hyperinflation in the market. Average family in Nigeria don't have even they are not sure of their next meal.
It is true.
Hello?
It is true. So,
in fact, Nigeria is on the crossroad, and the government is dancing Makosa. Investing in our money. What the cost of governance and other issues that we are clamoring for. Because for me, maybe it doesn't matter where the president comes from. It doesn't matter to me where the governor comes from. As far as you give us the dividend of democracy, as far as you distribute the resources equitably for us to enjoy as a citizen of this country. Divide and rule syndrome. Oh my dear, let me drop here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amos, my friend, for calling into the show this morning. You can share your views, thoughts, contributions, and analysis with us this morning on the phone lines, and you can also join us live on YouTube. It's High Voltage News on YouTube. You can also call the phone lines in the studio and send text message or WhatsApp message. It's 0706 048 5853. Also, you can call 0915 570 8347. The Nigerian president has sent his congratulatory message to President Donald Trump on his re-election as the 47th President of the United States of America. And also to tell you that Iran says Donald Trump's presidential win is an opportunity for the U.S. to reassess past rank politics. Good morning to you. Good morning, Justice.
Let's get off our information. Let's get the fact. And the Kanu issue. When the court gave order for him to be released, the federal government appealed that judgment up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that Nandi should go back to trial. So let's not just say that the federal government did not.
But I once remember the Supreme Court throwing that case away.
So the Supreme Court, that was why he now went back and they started the retrial again.
Okay, they started the retrial again.
So let's get the fact that they gave the order. There was a what is it called? Appeal.
But does it? But is he really wrong in his assertion anyway? Considering that people who are accused of Nnamdi Kanu's offenses, as most of them are still not in his position as well. So don't you see the sentiment as to why he would think that?
We don't have leaders. That's why we need to lobby. See, in everything
we need to. We need to
Lobby.
lobby. Why?
Yes.
Why
We
do
need to
we
lobby.
have to?
So we don't just leave it like that. You know when Igboho was arrested,
Mm-hmm.
you know the story how the leaders went there and they make sure that Igboho was not repatriated back to Nigeria.
I am aware. It's currently in the
So
UK.
we don't have leaders. That's the issue. We don't have leaders. We only have leaders. I don't want to use a wrong word on
Please
this,
don't.
but
Please don't.
I don't want to use a wrong word. So we don't have leaders. Let's blame everything on our leaders. If they make it a duty, we have our political leaders, we have our religious leaders. All of them should come together, make sure that keep disturbing the president until he's released. Don't we have Igbo leaders in this government?
I don't think the Igbo elites are very interested in that particular
They are not
conversation.
interested in that pattern. So let's not shift the blame to federal government. If they want to do the right thing, they do the right thing.
Mm.
Everything is about lobbying. You lobby to get what you want. You don't just sit
Wow.
in your house and be
So
performing
there
for
is
nothing.
no merit or anything working the way it should in this country. We have to cut corners, no matter what it
Uh,
is.
yes, yes. Yeah. So
Wow.
let's be fact on what we are saying. It's not that the government doesn't want to release him. The president can give order to release him, but it goes on our leaders who will persuade him to do that.
Mm.
So let's leave that fact. Coming to our prayer, when are we starting the prayer?
Yeah, I don't think they've picked a date.
There was no date for it,
I don't think they've picked a date.
and
Mm.
I will pray and fast again.
Yeah. On top of the hunger, maybe the fast will help you. Maybe while you're fasting, you're not looking for food, so
Some
perhaps.
somebody who is hungry,
Mm.
can he fast?
That's the thing. Like while you're hungry, you're already fasting, so it's multitasking. You're
So
putting it to good
when
use.
when they start the prayer, I would like to pray, and I will leave the
Mm.
fasting for Mavis. Leave the fasting for you because I love food. I love food.
Justice, is it not high time we had this conversation? Father Mbaka has also prescribed the prayers as well. Uh, Remi Tinubu, that's the first lady, has also prescribed the prayers. Bishop Adeboye has prescribed these prayers. A few imams have been in the news prescribing these prayers. Um, Please tell me, does it really work? Is it really what we need to change affairs presently?
Are we not? Have we not been praying? I
Ah,
want to assure you, if there are 1 million churches in Nigeria present today,
mm,
I don't think that there's always no day that they don't pray for Nigeria. So do we need a selective prayer for God to answer? If God is on science as we are taught, does it mean that we have a special place for him to answer our prayer?
mm.
We are not sincere. Let's tell ourselves the truth. We are not sincere. If we are sincere, we will do this. You see, if I'm God, the way Nigerians will bring is bringing a lot of headache to you. Most of the things we should have done on ourselves, we are praying
Mm,
for God to do it for
mm.
us. Why
But
are we
but
like
but
this? Why are we like this?
justice, it always bothers me that it's only when it's because nobody is praying for subsidy removal, nobody is praying for private jet. This prayers only comes when it comes to hunger and hardship. Why is that the only time that the prayer is whipped out? Because all these like this 50 something million dollars now that I told you about monitoring greed, nobody called us to pray about it. Why is it the hunger situation that has to be prayed about? I'm curious. I would really love for some clergy people to make sense of it for me, you know.
Is it not? Is it not?
That's what I'm saying. We should have easily prayed for that. We shouldn't have spent Nigeria's resources buying that. You are there with me. You're there. You're right there with me. We should have prayed to God to do it. But justice, we have judiciary, we have a judiciary, we have security agencies, we have a House of Representatives, we have people who are supposed to help us find out what actually happens to our money. I have held you, you will not, you will continue to, you will continue, you will continue. Mm. Mm. Bring the money back. I remember when people used to be afraid that incoming governors would do that to them. Whatever happened to that? Why did it stop? Mm. 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 Shocking things happen here. What about you remember people were citing that there could be intimidation, there could be maybe threats as to why he has turned around and apologized to this man. Mm. Which of them now? The boat driver. Why would you say that? Okay. 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 Mm. Mhm. I'm full of questions. I'm full of questions, but Justice, I have to let you go so that others can join the question. Thank you so much, my good man, for calling the program this morning. We're taking calls, so you can share your views on the conversations with us this morning. Let's hear what you think. Good morning to you. Welcome back, my friend. Please introduce yourself. Welcome back, Amos. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
God was trying to destroy that country. You understand me? So, God told to the people to repent from their evil ways. And of course, very fortunately enough for them, they heard him and they obeyed what Jonah told them. And they declared their fasting and prayer over that land. And and God, didn't destroy that country because of what? Because they obeyed what Jonah told them. You understand me? So that is applicable to Nigeria.
Okay.
If our leaders can, listen to the word of God and repent from their evil ways, I must tell you that God can turn this country for better. You understand me? Because the way things are going, I don't think God is happy with Nigeria.
It will seem that he hasn't been happy with us because I remember my grandfather prayed for Nigeria. My father prayed for Nigeria. I've prayed for Nigeria, and then I see that my child would also pray for Nigeria from the way we're going. So you see how this works. So at what point is he going to actually listen to the prayers? Because this country has prayed, my brother. I don't know if you have been living here, but the people in this country literally live in churches. We pray. I'm sure that you did some of it this morning before you went about your business. So I don't know, do you think that, because I also remember that in the good book it says his ears are not too far away that he cannot hear, nor his eyes too, I don't know how that goes, but you know what I'm saying. So he's capable. He knows what it is that's going on. So this mockery is what I find difficult to understand, because the religious sector plays a big role in our politics. There are endorsements. We've seen endorsements of these politicians in our churches. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. My name is Michael. I'm calling from Africa.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Your program is wonderful. I like it this morning, and as always, keep it up.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I want to make mention of people calling for prayer. Are you praying for a country where there is tribalism, open injustice, and anything mostly nepotism? Somebody made mention of Martin Nambekano. I want to shake your mind about something.
Please.
The prayers of sinners are never accepted by God.
Oh, dear.
If you want to pray, the Bible tells us, like my last caller said, if you have something at the altar. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm with you, Mike. I'm here.
Good. If you have a problem, leave that altar. Go and sort out your problem first. My dear, Enugu Onitsha Express, undertaken by RCC, it's almost in comatose. One day, one patch of cement. And there's much lies in the country. God does not like lies. We lie a lot. If you tune into one of your sister stations now, one government official is busy telling absolutely concise stories about the new generation in the state. All lies. We don't know where to continue. This is a country you have the penal and criminal system in one country. A justice looked at minors without pity, without morality, granted them bail in the sum of 10 million naira each. A justice from Onitsha or Iguatu. The other one from Ebonyi Winte is being used. We don't reason well. The marginalization is much and we are not helping ourselves. I'll tell you something, my sister, keep it up. Very soon they will start attacking you through phone calls. Not entertain some programs or listen to some calls. If you dare me, I will mention the name of that person from NPC that does that. Against Igbo nations, speaking about Nnamdi Kanu is forbidden. Speaking about ESN is forbidden. Speaking about IPOB is forbidden in one country. They keep referring to IPOB in as much as I don't support terrorism under any guise. A court has proscribed IPOB and say it's not a terrorist organization, but they keep imposing it on you.
Yes, these are agendas. These are agendas that we have seen, and the Igbos are also trying to find their way around it as to not to escalate things worse than they are already.
Okay, let me tell you something. Do their investigative journalism. Do you know that for almost 2-3 months now, Northerners have stopped bringing rice down to the southeast? Do you know why? Too much road produce. Northerners have stopped bringing rice. Now you have, I was in Kebbi State a month ago. You have one of the largest rice milling factories in Kebbi State, built by the son of the former Attorney General.
I'm with you.
The former Attorney General of the Federation. The son owns that rice factory. They produce up to 200,000 bags of rice in every 3 weeks. They move it to the north, to the neighboring countries. The same neighboring countries we say are pushing terrorists to Nigeria. And we are here not telling ourselves the truth, mostly in the southeast. If you speak against him, the can it's like bring him out and kill. But in the north, they have refused. Tell me any governor that have mentioned the name Boko Haram. They mention it freely, but here in the north, you as a presenter, you may be threatened by the Department of State or NBC. I know what happened to a lady that recently left a radio station in Enugu. She was caught because they were answering a certain man, Emmanuel, from Achara layout. And this is what we are enduring in the country. Tomorrow you tell me you want to pray. But Mbaka has seen where he has put us. But Debo has seen where he has put us. After condoning and supporting something that is not good. Now it's time to tell us to pray. God will not hear that prayer. Trump has come. See what will happen in Nigeria. Though I'm not an American, see what will happen in Nigeria. Everybody will sit up. God will not surely answer that prayer because we are living a lie.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Mike. That was quite passionate. And of course, that was you speaking it as you find it. All right, I would also like to remind you that these conversations are quite sensitive. So please do watch your language. Try to keep it clean, simple, and civil. You don't want to break any rules nor regulations while we're trying to do the right thing. The idea is to share thoughts and air views so that the people that we are hoping would hear us and try to make some of the changes that we're expecting. That is the point of this. It's not an agenda, it's none of that. It's expression, the expression of the Nigerian people, and that's what this media is about. All right, thank you for calling. Keep it yeah, good morning. Okay, sorry about that. Do well to call us back is 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347. There's been a sludge in a mining dam in Zamfara state. Now, what are they mining? You would ask me. Well, it's a gold mine in Zamfara, and there's been a slump in that gold mine, and so many lives have been lost. And a lot of people do not know that gold is mined in Zamfara, and of course, moved out of this country because nationally, we don't mine gold. We don't have gold in Nigeria. It's not one of those mineral resources. If you did basic education here, you would know that we do not have gold as one of our mineral resources. But a gold mine in Zamfara state has suffered a very great damage, and so many lives were lost in there. Rest in peace to the lives that were lost. But these conversations, they ought to be had, all right? They ought to be had, because at the end of the day, these events and these things that happen unchecked are the reason why we're where we are as a nation. And where we are, you ask me, it's not good. That is the reality. It's not good. Good morning.
Hello, Mavis. Good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
My name is George.
You're welcome, Mr. George.
So, prayer. Talking about prayer. I went for a program with a friend of mine.
Okay.
I'm a student here in Enugu.
Okay.
So, on our way back, he said something. He said in pidgin language, a guy at the prayer as if Rego has made light today.
Okay.
I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, must everything be prayer for crying out loud? What concerns God with let there be light? Or I don't understand. In this country, everything we want God to do everything for us. What is the reason for this prayer now? My dear, I will not join them in that prayer. Me. I won't. I won't disturb God. We should learn to do what we're supposed to do in this country and allow God do his own. Eh? How can a pastor ask his members, pressurize his members to vote for a particular candidate without giving them the right to decide on who to support, and you turn around and ask them to pray again? I don't blame them. I blame the citizens. We forgot a lot. We don't remember. I was watching a video of talked about Kalima Harris, the lady that contested a US election.
Yes.
He said God showed him, and a few weeks later he turned and said, join the bad wagon that Trump is going to win. I was like,
it wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen that here.
See, religion has dealt with us in this country. Religion has truly, I believe in God, I pray, but I don't pray foolishly. My dear, have a blessed day.
You too, George. Your story is quite touching. You know, your story is quite touching because it is the story of every Nigerian, almost the story of the average Nigerian. It's become a thing that we do and say psychologically, impounded in our heads, that the things that we are supposed to do for ourselves, it's God's responsibility. Imagine hoping that God, by some magic spell, will make sure that there's light by the time you get home. That is our lives. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. I am Emmanuel. I'm calling from Enugu here. So I come from Enugu.
You're welcome, Emmanuel.
Talking about praying for Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
That is ridiculous. Yeah, because you can't force God to do good to evil people. Nigeria is evil, and the leaders are evil.
Nigeria is evil. Did I hear you right? To let you go, Mr. Emmanuel. Such languages are not allowed on air, especially on Volt 104.3 FM. If you call me back and you would have watched your language, I would pick up. But for now, I have to let you go, sir. Apologies. We don't use such languages here, but please, next time you call, try to organize your words better so that we don't get each other into trouble. Okay? I'm sure that you enjoy the program. I enjoy talking to you as well. But we must make sure that we do that and obey the rules. Because, I mean, that's the conversation we are having here. If we're not able to do the right thing, then who are we to complain? On what grounds, on what authority do we have to say, okay, this is wrong or this is right? So on that note, I will have to tell us, because while we're pointing at our leaders and pointing at them and saying they're bad, they're bad, they're bad, they are a reflection of us. They are us. This is a reflection of who we are as a people. Dishonest, unaccountable, not transparent. We're not models. Okay, we're not models. I know that we like to pretend that we're very moralistic, we like to pretend that we're very godly and all of that, but I can tell you, as the good book says, it's the result that actually says what one is investing their time and their energy in. And I can tell you, by the results we have produced as a nation, we're not any of those things. So maybe it's time for us as a people to look inwards. It's time for us to look inside of ourselves and begin to ask ourselves in our own little ways what it is that we're doing that is sending this country to hell. And that is where I would leave you this morning. It's the weekend, so while you are trying to pray, I would like to encourage you to pray for yourself and ask God to do something good to you so that you would have a better change of heart. If you become better and I become better, I promise you that we will have a better Nigeria that serves all of us and takes care of us and our children in the future. Because at the end of the day, you stop hearing about the future, but you must remember that they would remember us the way that we are counting the people before us, and we are saying they failed in this, they did that, they did that, they did that. We must remember that history would remember us for the parts that we are playing now. So please go out there, be good to yourself, be good to your neighbors, try your best. The circumstances are not perfect in terms of model behavior and characteristics, but I am begging you, I am asking you this morning to try your best to be a good citizen for the sake of the God that you love so much and for the sake of our dear country Nigeria. My name is Mavis Atudume. I'll see you again next week Monday. Comes to you, of course, every 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. weekdays, Mondays through Fridays. Join me again as we continue to try to find solutions to our problems as a nation and how to solve them to have a better life. Good morning to you.